What's up, guys? It's Phil here with Grand Vapor Station, and we are currently at the Nugget in Carson City, Nevada for the vape meet. I am actually with the man himself, Grimm Green. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I feel great. It's a great turnout tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. So, before we get into the vape stuff, I actually want to congratulate you. You just got married, right?
Yeah, just got married.
How's the married life?
It's wonderful. You know, you marry your best friend, and we got married in October out on the East Coast, and it was wonderful. Wonderful time.
Awesome. I'm actually getting married, so.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. So, another thing we relate on, tattoos. I saw on your Instagram you were getting some new ink done. What was that new one you just got?
I got my arm blasted pretty good with a Disney villain. Yeah.
That is sick, man.
Yeah, I have a bunch of Disney villains. I got Ursula, Maleficent, and I don't know how this started. I saw an oil painting of this Maleficent at Disneyland, Southern California, and I texted it to my tattoo artist, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we should do that." And so that's how the whole Disney thing started.
Vaping tattoos, I see.
It's good times.
All right, and for everyone that doesn't know how you got the name Grimm Green.
That's actually Disney related as well, which is weird. I know that's weird, but once upon a time I used to go to this Disney forum called Mice Chat, and my last name was Green, and there's a song from the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland that talks about grim ghosts, and so I was like, oh, that's cool, so I just named myself Grimm Green, and I went by that for years on this Disneyland forum.
Yeah.
And then when I started YouTube, I just stuck with the same name, Grimm Green. That's how it came about. It's all Disney related.
You guys heard that
which is
here.
Weird.
So he's a Disney fan, you guys heard that.
Yeah.
But, so how did you start vaping? Did you used to smoke cigarettes? How long have you been vaping?
I was a really heavy smoker, and that's kind of part of, I was in a rock band at the time, and when you're in a rock band and you're playing at bars, you just smoke cigarettes. You drink cheap beer and you play rock shows and you smoke cigarettes. And we were, between me and my band, we were all smokers. We smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And so I had, I guess, paused for a couple of years where I went about 2 years without a cigarette. And my brother and I had booked a vacation to Las Vegas. And, when you get into that Las Vegas, culture, that feeling of sitting at the blackjack table with a cocktail and you have to have a cigarette.
Yeah.
And I really didn't want to start smoking again, but I knew that going to Vegas would probably get me smoking again.
Yeah.
So I went online and I literally Googled fake cigarettes because I figured there had to be something out there that might satisfy that, just so I didn't have to smoke cigarettes. And I came across this guy, Leaford. He had a video for a Smoke 51. It was just a little dinky battery with a little cartomizer. And, I bought one on eBay for way too much money. And I loved it, but when I first started, I didn't know what I needed. I didn't know that I needed liquid or more cartomizers or anything like that. So it burned out really fast, and I ended up going to Las Vegas and kind of smoking cigarettes anyway. And then when I got home, I just dove really deeply into it just to see what else was out there. And I ended up buying a 901 starter kit, and I shot a video for it, and then I started buying more atomizers, more liquid. I got a screwdriver mod because that was the newest thing at the time. And it kept going from there. But fake cigarette.
I actually after I had a starter kit, I actually watched your video for the Vamo, and you sold me on that video, man. I ordered it right after I actually saw your video. I was like, I'm going with the Vamo. You were like, oh yeah, it hits great. I love this thing, no problems.
I love the Vamo.
Yeah, I'm getting that. So I got it, and I know you have over 70,000 followers on YouTube. Every time someone has a question, I recommend you because you've done video on almost everything.
Right.
So between your personal life and your marriage and Namber Juice and your job, how do you balance everything? Because I'm having a hard time balancing everything.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of time management. I still have a day job, which is a graveyard shift job, which actually helps out my schedule. But I dedicate time to certain things. It's like I go to work and then I spend an hour at the gym, and then I spend 2 hours at home doing Grimm Green stuff. And then when I wake up in the evening, I'll spend an hour doing Namber Juice stuff. And then I'll, when that hour's up, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll stop and I'll go have dinner with my wife.
Yes.
Before I have to go back to work. So it's a lot of, even if I get really caught up in something, like if I'm in Photoshop and I'm trying to create a poster for a retail store or something like that, if it gets to be 7 o'clock, that's when I stop.
Yeah.
You have to draw these hard lines in your time, as far as I can spend this much time on Grimm Green, this much time on Namber, this much time at work.
That's good advice.
You have to do it. You can't be like, oh, it's I have to go to work. I didn't eat dinner. I still need to finish this. It's like you have to draw these lines, and that actually will end up being really helpful because you'll be much more, focused and on a project when you have this much time to work with it. So you got to draw those lines in the sand.
That's
and it's
good
hard,
advice.
but you have to do it.
Good advice. I'm taking pointers right now. Okay, so for anyone out there getting into vaping and maybe thinking about, pursuing a career in it, opening a store, following their passion, entrepreneurship, what would be your advice to them if they were to watch this video?
I would say it's the most rewarding thing you can possibly do. Vaping is wonderful, and it affects so many people's lives. And really just to stick with it. I always tell people the same thing, that there's no wrong way to vape. If you use a mech mod with sub-ohm coils, or if you use a Clearomizer on an Ego battery, it's all the same. You're not doing anything, you're not doing it wrong. As long as you're not smoking cigarettes, then I'm pumped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so really the best thing I can say is stick with it. You kind of have to earn your vape. You know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit of fiddling involved, but especially if you're gonna get into the business, if you're gonna open a vapor shop, you have to be willing to communicate well with people and work with people, because everybody vapes differently. You know what I mean? And it's not until people have that like aha moment that they'll make that step. You know what I mean? They can have like 12 really bad vapes before they get that one that's really good. So I think you have to really be willing to work with people and put in the effort to kind of win them over. You know what I mean?
For your Namber Juice, if people were out there and they were looking at trying 1 or 2 flavors, what would you recommend?
We have a pretty good variety of flavors. We try to, obviously, taste is a subjective thing, and when people tell me, oh, I don't like caramelized banana, but I really like the blueberry violence, I'm like, that's fine, that's okay. You can't love all of our juices. We try to have a pretty wide variety as far as like bakery flavors. We have Carrie's pecan pie, we have a donut flavor, we have the caramel banana, and then we have some more like fruity, tropical-ish flavors. We have like Cartomator Crush and the Oasis Mist, which are a little bit lighter and a little bit fruitier and sweeter. So it's kind of it kind of depends what you're looking for. I'm pretty confident in our juice line. Obviously I really enjoy all of our juices, and I'm pretty confident that no matter what you like to vape, that chances are we could have something that you would really like, whether that be fruity or bakery or peppermint or stuff like that.
Awesome. So just want to thank Grimm Green for sitting down with us doing this interview. And you can check him out on YouTube. Just search Grimm Green. He's got a bunch of videos up there. You can check us out on GramVaporStation.com. And you also have a website, GrimmGreen.com.
GrimmGreen.com.
All right. You heard him first. I'm Phil from Gram Vapor Station. This is Grimm Green.
Thank you. Keep on vaping.